Spiritual hiding. That's so much you gotta read. 2 pages. Let's get ready. Sometimes we don't have. Wait a minute. Okay. Sometimes we don't have much of a sense for God's presence in our lives, but there's no mystery to it at all. The truth is that our desire for God can be pretty selective. Sometimes we don't want God to be around. Dallas Willard writes about a 2.5-year-old girl in the backyard who one day discovered the secret to making mud, which she called warm chocolate. Her grandmother had been reading and was facing away from the action, but after cleaning up what was to her mess, she told little Larissa not to make any more chocolate and turn her chair around so as to be facing her granddaughter. The little girl soon resumed her warm chocolate routine with one request, posed as sweetly as a 2.5-year-old can make it. Don't look at me, Nana, okay? Nana, being a little codependent, of course agreed. Larissa continued to manufacture warm chocolate. 3 times she said as she continued her work, "Don't look at me, Nana, okay?" Then Willard writes, "Thus the tender soul of a little child shows us how necessary it is to us that we be unobserved in our wrong. Any time we choose to do wrong or to withhold doing right, we choose hiddenness as well. It may be that out of all the prayers that are ever spoken, the most common one, the quietest one, the one that we least acknowledge making, is simply this: Don't look at me, God. It was the very first prayer. It was the very first prayer spoken after the fall. God came to walk in the garden, to be with the man and the woman, and called, "Where are you?" I heard you in the garden, and I was afraid, so I hid. Don't look at me, God. A businessman on the road checks into a motel room late at night. He knows the kind of movies that are available to him in the room. No one will know. His wife won't find out. His kids won't see. The motel has a disclaimer. The name of the movie you watch won't be on your bill. Go ahead. No one will know. First, he has to say a little prayer. Don't look at me, God. A mom with an anger problem decides to berate her kids because she's so frustrated, because she will get a twisted rush of pleasure from inflicting pain. First, she has to say a prayer. Don't look at me, God. An executive who is going to pad an expense account. An employee who is going to deliberately make a coworker look bad. A student who looks at somebody else's paper during an exam. A church member who looks forward to the chance to gossip. First, when saying a prayer, we don't say it out loud, of course. We probably don't admit it even to ourselves. But it's the choice our heart makes. Don't look at me, God. After a while, this prayer can become so ingrained that we are not even aware of it. The story of Samson is the tale of time. The story of Samson is the tale of the man with enormous potential for good, who became a poster boy for impulse control problems that led him to break every vow he had ever made to God. Can't read too fast. At the end of his life comes this sad sentence, but he did not know that the Lord had left him. There is a connection between our character and our ability to perceive spiritual and moral reality. Measures are incapable of detecting generosity in someone. They will interpret lavish giving as naivety or, or secretly self-serving. Cynics are incapable of believing anyone is genuinely altruistic, not altruistic. They will assume everyone has an angle. Goodbye.